Right, students, good evening. So the students who are in the online, am I audible? Confirm everybody. Okay. Now let us move to the continuation part of our last class. So what was our last class discussion? Come on, quickly. Exception handling. The exception handling started day before yesterday. So types of exceptions and then handling the exception. So every day, what is yesterday's means exception handling. So what is the topic yesterday? Types of exceptions and handling the exceptions. Okay. So let us move to the last class what we discussed. How many keywords are there to deal with the exceptions? 5. What are those? Try. That's it. Only 3. You said 5. But when you started, only 3 is coming. 2 is not happy. Not happy. So try, accept, else, finally, rise. Very good. So Poonam, very good, ma. So you only said all the keywords at a time. Okay, good. So let us go to the next continuation process of the class. Fine, students, keep in mind, let us go to the next one, continuation process. So exceptions, look at that. Last session, types of exceptions we discussed. 2 types of exceptions are there. Programmer defined and yes, programmer defined and predefined. So 2 types of exceptions we did. And we learned the importance of predefined and then programmer defined, all those things. Later, we went for one more type of important topic, that is handling the exceptions. And we understood the syntax of handling the exceptions. How many keywords we used there? 5. But of course, in the syntax, we used only 4. So it is a time to go for understanding about try, accept, else, and then finally block. Explanation for the keywords which are available in handling the exceptions. Now I am giving points of what? Explanation for the keywords, I can say keywords in handling the exception, or explanation for handling the keywords, handling the exceptions. How many keywords are there? 5 keywords are there. What are those things? I just want to discuss one by one. So in handling the exceptions, we have seen that 5 keywords are available. Those things I just want to give one by one. So first one is called what? Try. So I just want to discuss. First one is called a try block. First one is called a try block. I want to go for it. Later, after a few minutes, we will go for what, except block. I will go for it. Except block, I will explain. So see that I will go for what, except block. Okay, students, except block, I will go. So in this class, we are going to become perfection in these points. And I can't imagine it, how much important these points are. So every interview will ask you the compulsory question on this area. So I will go for 4th one is called what? Finally block, I will take it. Finally block, I will take it. So let us start with the try. Come in. So what is this try block is? What is the first point related to the try block? Very, very easy. Let us take the syntax, what we discussed already in the class. Try block. So within the try block, what we used to write it? We used to write the block of statements which are generating exceptions. And one more program also we discussed in the last session. So if I look at that div2 program and observe it, and the try block, inside the try block, we have certain statements. Generating the exceptions. At what time? Execution time. Some type of exceptions are coming. Those exception statements written in which block? So let us help me in writing these points. So one by one, I will write it. See students, it is a block. It is a block in which we write, in which we write, we write block of statements, block of statements generating exceptions, generating exceptions. In try block, it is a block in which we write block of statements generating exceptions. In other words, I can continue. In other words, what are all the statements are generating? What are all the statements? What are all the statements are generating exceptions? What are all the statements are generating exceptions? Those statements must be written. Those statements must be written within which block? Try block. And it is known as what? Exception monitoring block. Monitoring block we can call. Exception monitoring block we can call. Is it understandable? Yes, keep in mind, it's a most important discussion. Everybody must understand that. It is a block. Everybody will ask the purpose of try block. You have to say, in try block, we will write the block of statements generating exceptions. In simple words, I said one more way. In this block, we write all the statements generating exceptions. Those statements will be written in this try block. And a try block is known as which block? Exception monitoring block. Well, that's fine. Next after that, what should I write it? Next after that, what should I write it? Come on, what do you understand about my last explanation? In this place, look at that. Try block, exception is occurring. Where the exceptions are occurring? Try block. Come out of which block? Try block, and executes appropriate except block or not. So, come on to the point of it. Now I am writing here. When the exception occurs, when the exception, I am writing the execution behavior of that. I am writing the execution behavior of each one? Except block or a try block. When the exception occurs in, which block? Try block. PVM comes out of which block? Try block. PVM comes out of try block and executes appropriate which block? Except block. PVM executes appropriate except block and generates which message? User friendly error message. Important class today. So most important is the first day. Yesterday is also very, very important, and today is also another important day. Okay. So when exception occurs in try block, PVM comes out of try block and executes appropriate except block and generates user friendly error messages. Very good. Next after that, what do you have to understand? See students, after executing this, 1 minute, after executing appropriate except blocks, is my control goes to the next statement to execute through the try block? No. That means once this PVM started executing, suppose if line number 6 exception is occurring, it comes to the value error. It is nothing but it is coming to the except block. From here, it won't go to the line number 7. Are you understanding? So after executing appropriate except block, PVM control never go back to the try block to execute the rest of the statements. People will ask a question. After executing value error, line number 12, is it going back to execute the rest of the statements? No. So definitely no. So I am writing. After executing except block, PVM never comes to never comes to which block? Try block to execute, which one? Yes, to execute the rest of the statements. To execute the rest of the statements. Rest of the statements. To execute the rest of the statements. Which are present in where? Try block itself. This is called one more important point. One more important point I am going to give you. So done. Next, after that I want to write one point. What is that point here? You see, programmatically you try to observe it. After writing this try block, what are we writing? Except block we are writing. Except block we are writing. Now see, after try block, immediately which block I wrote it? Except block I wrote it. That means people will ask a question, can I write only try block without writing except block? This is a question they will ask you. Is it? No. So definitely every try block must contain at least one except block. Compulsory, that is. So I will go to this point. I will write it. This is a syntactical point. Every try block must contain at least one except block. Is it only one except block or many more except blocks? Any more? And it is recommended. I'm writing the recommendation. It is recommended to write. Multiple except blocks. Multiple except blocks for generating multiple user-friendly error messages. Multiple user-friendly error messages. When my program is giving multiple user-friendly error messages, is it going to be a robust or not? It is going to be a robust. Ultimately, what I am trying to give is, it is going to be one important point. See students, every try block must contain at least one except block. Every try block must contain at least one except block. Okay. Then it is recommended to write which block? Multiple. It is recommended to write multiple except blocks for generating multiple user-friendly error messages. Well, next, another point I am going to write it. So, coming to the point back, after writing this, see, in the try block, you wrote except block, that is fine. But between try and except, I am writing other statements, guys. I am writing other statements. Speed bench. So I just say, between try and except, I'm just writing something like a hello. I'm writing something like hello. What I'm writing? Hello, I wrote it. Try block. Immediate indentation is what is required. Except is required. But I wrote some other type of intermediate statement, my dear students. I wrote some other kind of intermediate statements. Is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. That means once you write a try block, definitely you may write certain indentation try block of statement. Every try block must immediately followed by which block? Except block. We told you already, every try block require one except block, at least one except block. But where is that except block? Immediately must be followed. That is the point. No confusion with this point. Every try block contains at least one except block. But how that except block is immediately followed. So I am writing this point also. Every try block must be immediately followed by what? Followed by what? Except block. If I don't write that word, if I don't write something like hello, I wrote it. Just to see, error you see. I'll go to my command prompt, students. Just try to execute that yesterday's class program. So I'll go to this Python. 4 p.m. I say exceptions here. You try to execute, please. Py. So py div2 dot py. See that error is coming. What is that error statement here? I got it. An error related to print of hello. What is that error? Expected except block. Already we have a try. It is expected which block? So you wrote some intermediate statement. It is syntactically wrong. Execute this program now. See that? So I say 12. I say some 6. We got the output. If I say something like 34 and if I say 0, I got don't enter 0 for denominator like this. So I hope that this point is clear. Every try block must be immediately followed by. Yes, otherwise I'm writing. Otherwise we get error. We get what error? Syntax error. Syntax error. Okay, students? Fine. So I hope that you got my point. This is called one thing. You see how many points I wrote it? Try block related, and a try block when it is coming, try block is followed by. Try block must contain at least one except block. You can have multiple except blocks, and every try block must be immediately followed by what? Except block. I hope you understand my points. Is it clear? These are the points for which block, students? Try block. So students who are in the online, did you understand this point, students? If you say that quickly, then we will move forward. We will move forward. Clarity is there. Very good. Now, let us go to the next concept, students. Next block is what? What is the next block? Which is ready. Which is ready. So what is the next block? Yes. Let us go to the except block. Tell me, what do you know about except block? Come on, don't sit quiet and come. Answer my questions. Why do you go for except block? In except block, what are we writing? See, don't enter 0 for a denominator. And next is called what you know. What is that? Please don't enter 0 for denominator. Don't enter STR's symbols, alphanumeric. Gives which messages? Yes, very good. Come on to the point of it. It is the block. It is the block. I am writing more number of statements, students. It is the block in which we write block of statements. It is the block in which we write, already it is written, in which we write block of statements displays which message? Yes, user friendly error messages. I can see in something different way. In other words, I can write this word. In other words, what I am saying, in other words, except block will suppresses the technical error messages and displays what messages? User friendly error messages. Displays which messages, students? And hence except block is called what I told yesterday, exception processing block. Very good. Exception processing block. They will ask you in MCQs, which of the following blocks are exception processing block? Try, except, else, finally raise, like that they will ask. Which block? Because you have already seen the systematic programmatic part, and we are going to see more and more systematic examples we are going to see. Okay, students, now we understand the meaning of what? You know. So let us coming to the students, observe this part. I am just giving exception processing block. I can say one simple note point here, my dear students. What is the note point? Handling exception is equal to try block plus what? Except block. Keep in mind, this is a very, very important except block because this was asked in one of the MCQs of one company. That's what I'm writing. Handling exception is equal to try block plus except block, try block plus raise keyword, try block plus else, try block plus except. Like that, they will ask some combinations. Are you getting my point? Yes. Now tell me, what are you doing with the else block? When the except block will execute, first thing is always a purpose. Second one is called what? Syntax I want to write. When this except block will execute, when except block will execute, I want to know the answer. Once one day is over, you are out of order. When the Rocky, correct. When the except block will occur, when the exception occurs, except block will execute. You have to remember, students, except block will execute. Except block will execute when an exception occurs in. When an exception occurs in which block? Yes, when an exception occurs in try block. Except block will execute when an exception occurs in try block. That is called one important point. And the next point I am going to write it. Except block will execute when an exception occurs in which block? Try block. One more point I am going to write it. What is the next point I am going to write it? Except block. How many except blocks you can write it in a simple Python program? Many. In this case, you see more except blocks I can write it. Will all of them will execute at a time or one among them? One among them. That I am writing. Even we write it. Even we write multiple except blocks. Even we write what blocks? Multiple. Which blocks? Except blocks. Even we write multiple except blocks. PVM can execute. PVM can execute only one except block. Only one except block. N except block depends on type of exception. Type of exception occurs. Type of exception occurs in which block? Try block. Even we write multiple except blocks. PVM can execute only one except block. Depends on type of exception occurs in which block? Right. This is an important point. Are you understanding, students? Right. These are the points to be remembered under which block? Except block. And moreover, what is the placeholder of writing this except block? What is the order of that writing? First, which except block, which one I wrote it? And next what? So except block written after what? Can I write except block before try? Except block to be written after which block? And before where I wrote it? Else block I wrote it. Understand? What is the placement of writing this except block you need to write? So we must write the except block. We must write the except block after try block. After try block. And what? Before which block? Else block. This is a placement of writing. This is the placement of writing which block? Except block. Clear? Very good. Now coming to the part of this is comes under else related kind of information, except related kind of information. Right. Next, moreover, I want to go for which one next? Else. After these points are over, I will tell you varieties of except blocks. So I am going to write next part is called that only. Various forms of, there is a next part after discussion of these keywords. Various forms of which block? Except blocks. I am going to explain. This is a separate discussion I am going to give you. With the different examples I will give you. See students, very easy. After a few minutes, I'll come to that point. Let us come to which block now? Else block. So let's start the else block. Tell me, what do you understand? Come on, fast. Ranjan, that is a syntax, mom. That is a syntax. See student. Ranjan, except exception class name. It is the name of the exception block. It is the name of the exception class. Except keyword we are talking about. Except keyword always written after that exception class name. So that is as a part of the syntax only I said. Come on to the point of it. It is the block. It is the block in which we write the block of statements. Displays what always? Displays always what? Statements. Displays results. Results of the Python program. Results of the Python program. Results of the Python program. So see students very carefully. Try to understand. It is the block. It is the block. As it is missing there. It is the block in which we write. It is the block. I missed there also. It is the block in which we write a block of statements generating which messages? Right. So coming to the point back, all those things has written it. Come on. It is the block in which we write the block of statements. Displays the result of the Python program. Block of statements recommended to display. Why I am writing this recommendation is because writing else block, first of all, optional. I may write it, I may not write it. I am just giving the recommendation. Recommended to display result of the Python program. Result of the Python program. Okay, it's an important part of it. Next part is called what? Writing else block is mandatory or optional? Yes. Now you see writing. This is I will write next point. Writing else block is optional. Writing else block is optional. Write optional. Okay. Writing else block is optional. Perfect. Next, what I want to do it. Else block I wrote it. I wrote like this. Next I am going to get it. Next point is what? When the else block will execute? When there is no exception occurs in. Yes. Else block will execute. Else block will execute when there is no exception occurs in. Come on, fast. Occurs in which block? Very good. Try block. When there is no exception occurs in try block. When there is no exception occurs in try block, we will be getting which block executed? Else block. Writing else block is optional or mandatory? Very good. Now, what is the placement of writing else block? What is the placement of writing else block? See the syntax. Else block to be written after except block and before finally block, provided I may write finally block, I may not write finally block. If at all I am writing finally else block, it should be written after except block or to be written before finally block. So last point I am writing, students, see that else block, we must write, we write else block after except block and before, very good, before finally block. We write else block after except block and before finally block. These are the points to be remembered about which block? Which block? Else block. So I hope that result generating block is called what? Else block. Result exception monitoring block is called what? Try block. Exception processing block is called what? So here I will write it for your better understanding. Result generating block. Result generating block I can say. Result generating block I can say. Fine, students. Coming to next what? Finally block I am going to discuss. Are you remembering these points? Right. So will you remember all these points? Right. Ranjan, this else keyword are same as before. We use else keyword. Ranjan, once it is else is clear about the previous, what else, what way you are getting confused with this? See, when this else is having clear cut explanation, In what way you are going to get the confusion with the previous one? I told already what these are called, what keywords I told you. Keywords I told you. Again you are asking, sir, this else keyword are same as before we use else keyword. So this is not necessary to ask that kind of question. Else is always else only. Else is a keyword. I told class name. I told already, where I taught this type of example. Where I taught this example already in the sessions. Else is equal to 10. What is that? Invalid error, invalid na? Syntax error. So else colon is equal to some 30. What is that is called? Invalid. So don't get the type of things, mom. Can concentrate more clearly. Concentrate more clearly. So coming to the point of which block now? Finally block. Shall we start? Yes. So try to understand why finally block is finally block. I say finally block, I am going to write it. There also I am writing some 4 points I am going to write it. First of all, writing finally block is optional or mandatory? Good. Students in the online, writing finally block is optional or mandatory? Mandatory. Who is that? Very good. Who is that? Mandatory. Execution. Whenever I write finally block, it is mandatory to execute. Writing finally block is optional. So writing the finally block is optional. Writing the finally block is optional. See, which very important points. You take any of the website, you will not find this clear-cut points like this. Keep in mind, always try to reproduce as it is in interviews. Writing the finally block is optional. Executing finally block is compulsory or optional? Compulsory. When we write finally block, it will execute compulsory. Finally block will execute. Finally block will execute compulsorily. That is nothing but what? If we write, I will write in the bracket what? If we write. Why I said writing finally block is what? If at all I write it, it will execute compulsorily. Good. What is the placement of writing finally block? We write, come on, finally block after else block. Suppose if at all I did not write else block, it is available after except block. That is obviously very clear. Okay. So we write finally block after else block. Else block is written after except block. If else block is not there, definitely finally block is there after which block? Except block. No problem at all. Are you able to understand? Good. Next, what is the purpose of it? Sir, you said writing finally block is optional, you said. Writing finally block is optional, you said. Sir, when can I write in my program, sir? When can I write it in my project, sir? Now I am writing purpose of it. Very, very, very powerful example. Every interviewer will ask this question. When do you go for finally block? When do you go for finally block? I am going to explain. So let us see carefully. Let us go to one small paint. This is my example, my dear students. So line number 1, carefully try to understand. In line number 1, I wrote, see, I will take off. I'll just try to take this. Okay. Try to follow me. What is the line number 1 contains? For example, we are going to see after this exceptions are over, files I will introduce. Files, databases next. So like that, there are a lot more important topics will go on. I opened a file. Have you heard about files in C language? Have you heard about it? Files, you heard about it? Yes or no? Yes, Java files are there, C language files are there. Okay, no problem. those who heard about the files, we don't have any knowledge on files. What is the definition of file? Well, you don't feel it when I ask this question about your knowledge. What is the definition of file? Definition of file. Collection of documents. Okay. Collection of documents. Oh, Ravi Kumar and okay. Right. Sheikh Asif. Correct. Ramya. Correct, ma'am. Correct. So, collection of records. It is not a concept of not only every language will contain concept of files. Okay. Of course, definition only is okay. Collection of folder. Okay. Collection of folder. Ganesh Varma. Okay. File is a storage of documents. Okay. Collection of data. Okay. Stop, all of you. Stop. So everything is wrong. File is a collection of what? Records. So Ramya said the correct answer by comparing to everybody. Collection of records. That is a perfect answer. And Arif or some student, Sheikh Arif said correct. One more information later. Stores the data. What is the database? How many of you know database here? How many of you know Oracle database here? Because even in my class also, Python with Oracle connection, I will tell you. Python with MySQL also will come. Ranjan, yes, SQL and Oracle. How many of you know Oracle here? Don't know Oracle? Don't know? Really? Some of you know, because sir will ask a question. Okay, Rocky knows Oracle. Okay, so Brahmani also knows Oracle. Very good. So learn one database. I will tell you one book name. Buy the book name and read every day 5 pages. After 10 days or 15 days or 20 days, you will become perfection in Oracle. What? So reading notes also time is not there, sir. If you say textbook, who will read that, sir? You only read and tell me, sir, daily. So reading notebook also time is not there. If you say textbook, who will read that, sir? You only read and tell me, sir. Like that you will say. Amma? Book name I will definitely tell you. At the end of the class I will tell you. But only book name writing in the book, there is no use of it. You have to read it daily. Yes, ma? Very good. So don't buy it. Try to download from internet. Why you want to waste your money? Download from the internet. You will get it. I will tell you that book name. Compulsory I will tell you. Because if you want to learn Oracle, you need not to sit in the class. Read daily 5 pages. You will become perfect. In my class, Oracle is useful to me. Why? I will explain the topic. Python with database connection. After files are available, I will tell you. Python with database connection. Python with Oracle. Python with MySQL. Python with any of the database I can tell you. Once you learn 2 databases in my class, later you can go for any database. Python with MongoDB. Python with PostgreSQL. Python with SQLite 3. Python with any database you can connect. Provided at least one database, if you know, you will understand in my class. Nothing to worry. Okay, anyhow, come to the point. So C language files are there. C++ files are there. Java files are there. And in my class files are there. I'm going to teach files for you. How beautiful you will become, you can't imagine. You need not to study also. So I will tell you files. What files contains? Stores the data. Which data? Records will be there. As you are assuming collection of documents, collection of folders, these are all called not at all useful. Keep it aside. For file. Okay, students, I opened a file. When I am opening a file, why I am opening a file? First of all, to read the data from the file. File is containing what? Records are present. Right? Moreover, I got connection from DB. Connection from DB, database. I got connected to Oracle database. Why I connected to Oracle database? Because some records are there in the table of my Oracle. Employee table is there. So in my session of Python, when I'm dealing with Oracle connection, I will explain some part of Oracle also in the class. Briefly, I will explain. So that also you will get some knowledge about the Oracle also. Why I connected to the database? Because compared to files, databases are more secured, more easy to do the operations. That's why 99% of the real-time projects says connecting to the database for representing your data storage. That's why when you go to Django level, MVT architecture is going to come. Model view template, full form. That model component is nothing but database connection we can call. Okay. Anyhow, I got a database connection or I got opening the file in line number 1. Why I opened the file or connecting to database? To read the data from the files or to read the data from the tables of the database. Okay. And later after that, I wrote many sentences, my dear students. Like that, I wrote fourth statement and fifth statement. Like that, I wrote many more statements like this. I wrote many more statements like this. Sixth statement, seventh statement. Like that, many more statements I wrote it. How many statements I wrote it, ma? 9900 statements I wrote it. 100 statements. This is called my 99 statement, for example. So like that, in middle of it, a lot of statements are available. Like that, lot of statements are available. Well, next up, see students, when I am opening the file, file is opened successfully. I got the database connection successfully. Once a file is opened and database connection is successfully done, after your entire operations are completed, is it necessary to close my file or not? Come on, students. Is it necessary to close my file or not? Yes. So I will write in the line number 100, close the file. Nothing but what? Release the database connection, release a DB connection, release the DB connection. Getting my point? You opened the file in line number 1 and you closed the file in the line number 100. In middle of it, there is one statement is there, student. What is that statement? 10 A is equal to 100 by 0 is there. 100 by 0. 100 by 0 means what? Some exception is there or not? In this information, some statement is coming which is generating exception. Or second or third or fourth or fifth in 1 to this 99 lines. Some statements are generating exception. Definitely I will write that statements in where? Try block. Definitely I will write in where? Okay. Next I will write what block? Except block I will write it. In except block what I will write it? Some exception class name I will write it or not? Some user friendly name I will define or not? Yes. One more except block I am writing. Like that many more except blocks I will write, my dear students. Many more except blocks I will write it. Many more except blocks I will write it. Many more except blocks I will write it. And I have written what block also. Now, first time you are seeing that finally block I wrote it. Finally block I wrote it. So I'm saying that which block I am writing? Yeah. Carefully observe. Now you are getting the purpose of it. Come on, students. Come to the point of it. Line number 1, PVM got a file opened, 2, 3, 4, etc. What I got it here? Exception means come out of which block? And looking for what? Except block. Any one of the except block will execute or not? And later it will go to which block? Which one is unable to close? You are unable to close the file. Am I correct or not? File was closed in line number 1. Line number 4, what is occurring? That means you are coming to where? Except block. When you are coming to except block, which one you are unable to close? File was unable to close. Already you got a connection or not? Already you opened a file and got a database connection or not? Where are you releasing them? Where are you releasing them, in line number 100 or not? In middle of it, what is occurring? Exception is occurring. When exception is occurring, what is happening? It is coming out of it or not? It is coming out of this try block and looking for which block? Appropriate except block. After executing appropriate except block, is it going back to the rest of the lines to execute the rest of the statements? Never. Then when it is not going back, what are you losing there? I am unable to close my file. Are you getting me? So then how do you solve this issue? Once you opened this file, it is mandatory, it is important to close your file compulsory in real time. Why? Because if you close the file, if you open the file, and if you did not close the file, if some other kind of program is trying to operate on your file, some type of wrong manipulations will take place. Immediately you will get what? File data becomes inconsistent or not? Inconsistency is nothing but wrong data will come inside of it. Once you open the file, it is a responsibility of yours to close the file compulsory. Simple. You asked your friend to give his room keys. He has given a keys. You got an urgent phone call, you went out without closing the doors. What will happen? Some theft may occur. Something like that. Once you opened the file, it is mandatory to close your file. It is very much responsible to close your file. Otherwise, the file data will become what? Inconsistent. Now tell me, is it a better? See, I wrote this entire statements from 1 to 100, everything inside of which block you have written? Try block. From today onwards, I never write the statements related to what? I never write the statements related to what? Closing of the file inside of what? Try block. But I am writing such statements in where? Right. Start now. I never write the statements related to where? In closing part of it, I don't write in which block. Start now. What is happening? Exception started. Second, first, third, fourth, fifth, fourth. Exception came. What will happen? Come out of this except block or not? Yes. Try block, fourth line, it is jumping out of it. It is jumping out of it. Coming to where next? Except block. Except block. And after that, which block is coming? Finally block. Finally block. Finally, what is happening? It is going to be happening here. Close this file or release the database connection. Are you able to follow me? Release the database connection. Finally, where is written? What is the best place of writing the closing the file? So once this exception is occurring, it is nowhere else going back to the 100 line. It is nowhere else going back to the 100 line. You take in another way or other way around you take it. So I wrote, I did not write this 100 statement inside of a try block. Where I was written in? Now you say this is called what? 10. This is called 10. 100 by 10. Start the flow. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 99. No errors. It is executed successfully or not? Where it is coming out next? Else block it is going to come or not? Assume that else block is there or not, that we least bother. And it is straightforward coming to which block? And in finally block, what I wrote it? Closing the file. So you tell me, which is the better place to write my closing the file statements? If I write inside of try block, it is not able to close the file when exception is occurring. Did you understand? So coming back to this line, I am writing this functionality. See, to understand that sentence, I have to explain a lot. Tell me, it is a block, tell me, in which we write block of statements, what are that block of statements are doing? It is a block in which we write block of statements for closing. I will write the one technical word for relinquish. This is a technical word you have to remember. Relinquishing, nothing but what? Closing, or what? Releasing, or what? Give up, clean up, or what I can write? I can write because these words are coming across in interviews. Which of the following block is meant for give up the resources? Which of the following blocks are meant for clean up the resources? Clean up the resources. Resources are nothing but what? Files, comma what? Yes. This is the meaning of which block? Yes, it is a block in which we write a block of statements for relinquishing. Relinquishing synonym is what? English meaning closing or releasing or give up or clean up the resources. What are the resources, students? Files and databases. Where are you getting? Which are obtained in? Which are, where are you obtained? Which are obtained in which block? So which block you are obtaining? Try block. Which block you are relinquishing? That's why it is known as what? Resource relinquishing block we can call. Say, resource relinquishing block. Resource releasing block we can call. And it is called, in the bracket I will write, known as what block? Resources relinquish block. Relinquish. Resource relinquishing block. Resources relinquishing block. I say resources relinquishing block. Understand, students? Finally, block. It is the block we write. It is the block we write closing or releasing or give up or clean up the resources which are obtained in which block? So known as what? Resource relinquishing block. Finally, block will execute in the case of what? When we write. Writing finally block is, now tell me, sir, when should I write finally block? Whenever I have resources. Whenever I have, when I don't write finally block, when I don't have resources. If in my project, if file is there, in file is open, I will write which block? In my project, files are not there, databases are not there. Is it necessary to write finally block? I will handle the exception, but I don't write which block. That's why writing finally block is, we write, come on ma, we write finally block after which block? Yes. So this is the placement of final block. I hope students in the online, I did not speak for some time. You have to tell me, is it understandable, students? Feeling confident day by day? Feeling confident day by day? Right. Good. Fine. Right. Very good. Nice. Shall we move forward? Which blocks these are all called? Speak. Which blocks we discussed? Try block, except block, else block, finally block. See that 4 points here, 4 points I set, here 4 points I set, and this is a note point, you remove 4 points, here also some 5 points I set. So almost I said 17 points. Will you remember all 17 points? No, sir, not even 1 point also. I know. Remembering. Can I ask 1 point? What is the purpose of else block? You want to say? No. Yes. Else block. Else block purpose. Just a shortcut. Purpose of else block is so and so. That's it. Yes. Excellent. Showing the result. Good. Sit down. What is the purpose of finally block? Not you. Yeah. You're under sleeping mode, right? No? I feel like that. Now tell me. Change my opinion about you. What is the purpose of finally block? Good. Closing the. So you tell me that in a sentence format. Use a big sentence. So don't say yes or no like that. You say correct picture of the class. See, for telling you such a small word, it is like this. See, it is for writing this sentence, how much description I explained you? This much of description you need to explain. So why I explained everything here? To make you to understand very nicely. That's why I just write resources. Resources are nothing but what? Files and databases. If you use such a type of terminology, they feel that it is the perfect answers you are giving. Okay, na? Sit down. Next. Try block is for used for what? Try block is for what purpose? Try block is for what purpose? Hmm? No, I should listen. If you say by yourself, no, I cannot listen. No. Don't feel when Sir is asking question. Tomorrow interview will ask you compulsory question or not. What is the use of try block? Exception? Mentoring of blocks. Mentoring. Mentoring or monitoring? Monitoring blocks. So monitoring? Monitoring? Monitoring. What do you monitor? So you're not using the proper word. You have to say, you are whatever they are saying, you are seeing that. So need to read, ma. Need to read. See that what I said. Stand up while you are sitting. See that. Don't close the hands. Release. I said, in this block, we write a block of statement generating exceptions. Those generating statements we write inside of where? Try block. So always a try block contains those statements which are generating what? Exceptions. Easy or difficult? So don't tell directly. It is called exception monitoring block. Explain. Explain. What is your name? I say my name is KVR. I don't want to say, if somebody asks me, I will say complete name. K stands for what? V stands for what? R stands for what? I'll explain. Because you are an interview candidate, na? After getting the job, what is your name? KVR, if you say it is okay. Before the job, you have to give your full length answers. Okay, na? It's my advice. Say complete. Tomorrow also I will ask you once again, these points. 17 points I will ask you. Your friend also, don't eat. You also, both of your friends. Yes. Good. Sit down. Tomorrow I will ask both of you 17 points. Tomorrow you will come. Online you will attend. Come. Okay. So don't fear when Python is here, when I am here. Okay. Yes, my daughter. Right. Very good. Come here once. Come and say and then go back. So, say. Once again, please say slowly, slowly. I am unlinking the file. I am just closing the file. No more operation can be performed on the file. This one. Clean up. I mean to say, cleanup is one of the most important word there. I will see, my dear student, FP is equal to open of, I will take student.info, student.data, comma, I will open in append mode. Append mode. What is FP? Okay. L is equal to what? List. What is L? Object. What is FP? Object. So that object will have some memory space or not? When I close my file, fp.close, when I say fp.close, what is closed? File is closed. I am going to remove the memory space of FP. That is known as what? Cleanup. Inside of it, what is calling? One garbage collector will come. That will deallocate the memory space for FP also. That will remove the memory space. I will show you this program in the OOPS. The word called cleanup is a very, very important terminology. I am not going to remove the records. I am going to remove the object pointing to the file. Once if I remove that FP, automatically the file is under closing mode only. That is the meaning of cleanup. Okay, na? If I remove the object, when I say close, the file is not under active mode. Once it is not in active mode, what is the need of FP? I will deallocate the memory space. Once if I deallocate the memory space, my program will become fast. So simple thing, when you are pointing to your home, wherever this is your home, you opened your home. What is next happening? What is the next happening? FP.close. You will close your doors and everything, and you are out of it. And no more object is pointing to your door. It is nothing but cleaning up the resources which are present in the home. Cleaning up means not the things which are present in the home. The object pointing to the file is removed. That is the meaning of it. Anyhow, I will show you that meaning of this word. Instead of bothering about the word here, I'll show you technically in the class. Okay, na? Right. So where I'm going to show you that, I'm going to show you. Now only I will show you, Ma. Look at 7 a.m. in Whoops. There is a destructor concept. There is a program here called what? Destructor program. There I am going to write a del underscore GC calling destructor function. There I am going to show you the meaning of what? Cleaning up the resources. Don't worry about that. I will show you in the Whoops. I will explain Whoops programming. There you are going to come across. So don't worry about the cleanup. Clean up the resources are nothing but closing the file safely without having any inconsistency of the data. I will explain that further. Let me come to that. You will understand that word. Okay, right. So, who is this? Kalyan Kumar. Try input. Do you have ticket? Okay. Yes, sir. Watch the movie. Okay. Else, go to home. Accept name error. Enter name correctly. Value error. Enter your name correctly. Syntax error. Okay. Okay. So, how to create some exception in this, sir? Let me come to Kalyan Kumar. Who is this? Kalyan Kumar. What is our types of exceptions, ma? How many types of exceptions? One is called what? Predefined, and what we are discussing so far? Predefined. Myself only told you we are entering into where? Programmer defined. Still I did not enter into the programmer defined. Still I did not enter into the programmer defined. Kalyan Kumar, when I come to that, definitely I will take your request. So this is called always, this whatever you are saying, we will do it. Because you see our index, beautiful index I wrote it, a wonderful index I wrote it. See, ATM case study, I'm going to take up lot of exceptions in the class. Lot of exceptions I'm going to give you. So we are dealing with what now? Handling the exception, and going on this one. I did not enter into our own exception development. I did not. I will come to that. Okay. Point by point, one by one, which we will be coming under. So Ganesh Kumar, yesterday only I told you, syntax error comes under compile time error only. Yesterday only I told. Python compiler only can see for what? Syntax error. It is comes under one type of compile time related kind of error. Not comes under syntax related kind of things. Right. So coming to the next part of the continuation. Next continuation part, I will go for it. Is these keywords are clear, students? First of all of you tell me. Confirm that. Then I will go to the next part. Kalyan Kumar, definitely I will explain, ma. So be in the online so that I will explain that part. Fine. All the finally block, and this is things are there. And related to that, one keyword is also there. Which keyword is there, ma? That rise, I will explain separately. With the programmer defined exceptions, I will explain. Nothing to worry. Now I am going to enter into the another topic, continuation part. What are the various forms of except blocks? Shall we start? Fine. So in Python program, see students, in Python programming, in Python programming, let us watch. We can use which block? Except block in various forms, They are one by one. I am going to explain. Look at that. First one, form number one. Form number one. Form one. What is that now? What is the form number one? Single except block. Single except block. Handling, or I will write directly syntax first. Syntax number one, I will write it. Instead of that, we can use syntax number one. First you observe this. Varieties of syntaxes, I will write it. Compulsory question this is. Now see, in this I am writing. What is this now? Try. What we will write here? Come on, speak. Block of statement. What I will write here? Except. Come on. Which name? Exception class name. Beautiful. What I will write, ma? Block of statements. Generating which message? Good. What is this syntax? This is syntax. Come on, tell me. This is syntax. Handles one exception at a time. Like that, I can write many more except blocks or not. This is called one type of except name. This is called another type of exception name 2. This is called exception name 1, exception name 2, so on, exception name n. So I am writing this syntax handles one exception at a time. Syntax number 1, exception class name 1, exception class name 2. This syntax handles one exception at a time. Very good. That is our example, what we discussed so far. What is our example? Except zero division error, except value error. This is a standard syntax. Keep in mind that this is a standard syntax. Next, we can also go for this type of syntax also. Look at students, this is also one more useful thing for you. If you like it, you go for this one, or otherwise go for syntax number 2. Syntax number 2 is like this. What is this syntax speciality is? Same to same. I will write it. See, I will write it. Try, I will write it. Next, except block, I wrote it. Except block, I wrote it. Exception class name 1. Write it in the tuple format, guys. Tuple format. Exception class name 1, comma, exception class name 2, exception class name 2. I will write it. So on, I will write exception class name n. Indentation symbol. Beautiful. What I will write it here? See this carefully. Okay, it is becoming little bigger, ma'am. Exception class name 1, exception class name 2. Here, I will write all the exception messages related, all the exception related user-friendly error messages, I will write it. Here, at any point of time, how many exceptions are coming? Only one exception. Once one exception is coming, it is coming to which place? Single except block. Handling how many exceptions? N number of exceptions are handling. If it is matching, it is becoming true. Other things are not matching. False. True or false or false or false or false. It is becoming true. This block of statements will execute. This syntax is called what? See students, this syntax handles. This syntax handles multiple specific exceptions, specific exceptions by using single which block? Except block. That's why this is known as what? Multi exception handling block. Multi-exception handling block. Multiple exceptions are handled by which block? Single except block. This is also one useful thing. That is nothing but, let me show you the example for this. Let me show you first example. How simple it is. Go. I am writing div2. What I am doing, you please observe it. Come down to this point. I will take this point. Because of this, what is happening, you see, my dear students, div3.py. What I am doing, except zero division error, except value error, I wrote how many? 2 except block, but I don't want two except block. Only what I will do, comma, tell me students, okay, value error, 2 exceptions. That time I will write this statement inside of this statement only. I will write, that time I never write this statement. So at least some line of coding is reduced. Are you following? This is an except block. I am writing how many exceptions at a time? 2 exceptions I am handling here. Zero division error, comma what? Simple, ma. Whenever an exception is occurring, it is coming out of it, looking for an except block. It is applying internally what operator? In operator applied. PVM got zero division error. Is zero division error present in this tuple of values? Yes. And display this entire messages. What are all the messages you have written inside of it? That all the messages will be displayed. That means what the exception occurring? That exception message plus in advance some more messages are giving. Are you following? Some people will like what? Whichever mistake I commit, that mistake only to be displayed. Some more people like what? Whenever I do one mistake, I am expecting advanced messages also to be shown so that I won't perform that advanced messages. Are you getting? Suppose if you do one mistake today, I am telling not only that mistake, I am telling about the next, these mistakes will come, don't do it. That is what this syntax says. Another thing is what? Previous one is saying what? Whatever mistake you do, that mistake user-friendly message only will come. Are you okay? So come on, execute this program now. Execute this program div3.py. See students, div3.py. Execute. Go to this place ma. Py div3. Enter the value 100 and then 20. No more exception. No else block is no catch block. It is giving else block and which block? Finally block. Beautiful. Now execute students. 100 and what? 0. 100 and 0 means it is jumping out of this program, students. It is jumping out of this program and then looking for what? Zero division error is there, value error is there. Which one is matching with? And executing these messages. Executing these messages. Now I am getting this answer. Finally, I am going to give you. See that I am getting 2 messages here. This is a suitable message. This is an advanced message. Don't commit this mistake also. You may perform in the near future. You do that. I say 10, I say ABC 23. You are getting that message also. You are getting that message plus other message also. Is it understandable? So can I handle multiple exceptions with a single except block? This is a zero division error is called one specific problem. Value error is called one specific problem. 2 specific problems handled with a single except block. This is known as what, ma? Multi exception handling block. Understand? Good. This is called one type of except block. Clear? Very good. Now let us save this. One more I will write it, student. One more I am writing, ma. One more I am writing. See that. What I do is I am writing some of the people, and of course in Python these days I am seeing like that they will write. Like that they will write. Like that they are writing. They are not writing anything. They are not writing anything. What it is doing, you know? What it is doing, you know? I will write like this. I will write like this. Of course, this is a very regularly will come across in the internet. That is unusual thing. Industry never write that. So I am writing something. Oops, something went wrong. Something went wrong. In Google or something else you will get now. Oops, something went wrong, something will get it or not. Oops means not object-oriented principles. Expressing your inability, expressing your patience levels. Come on, start with. What is this except block? Are you specifying anything here? No. Execute div4.py. div4.py. See students, how easy it is. Go to that. Say div4.py. See that first value, second value, no problem. As long as you enter a correct input, no problem. See that, say enter and enter. What is happening? Which type of exception occurs? Zero division error. All sort of exceptions are coming to which block? Here what is not specified? No except block, no zero exception, no value error, no zero division error. Everything it will match. Right or not? So it PVM takes, nothing is specified. Nothing is specified means it is executing internally. Because every try block require what first of all? One except is required. One except is required. That's why it is executing. See that answer what is coming? See that what is executing now? Go to this place, enter. Oops, something went wrong. Are you able to understand? Next you enter one more thing, KVR, and next Java. Something went wrong. What is that? What is something went wrong? What is went wrong? You tell to end user. For everything something went wrong means what? PIN number enter, something went wrong. Card reverse order, something went wrong. More amount is entered, something went wrong. These are all called unusual practices or not? Is it recommended? Is this recommended? No. This is called what? This is called what? One more type of point. That is comes under one more type of thing. It is, I am writing here. Syntax number 5, I will write it. Syntax number 5. I will write the syntax number 5. Actually, syntax number 3 I want to go. But anyhow, I mentioned it. No problem. It is called syntax number 5. What is it? What is it? No, nothing is written. This is comes under. Come on, students. Default except block we can call. Spell out. Yes. How many except blocks? An except block with single exception name. An except block with multiple exceptions. An except block with no exception, which is called what? Yeah. Match case you see. Match case label 1, case label 2, case label 3, case label n. Last what? Case underscore colon. That is called what? Default case label. It matches for anything which is not as matching with the specified case labels. Whatever you have written here, matching with that, messages are coming. If no exception name is mentioned, who is executing? Default exception block. Default except block it is called. Please remember that. Which one? This syntax handles all types of exceptions. All types of exceptions. All types of exceptions. All types of exceptions. In which block? Except block. And it is not recommended. Why it is not recommended? Because we are not end user. What is the end user? End user not getting which message? Very good. Not getting user-friendly error messages. User-friendly error messages. Perfect. Understand, students? Nice. This is syntax number 5. Sir, syntax number 3, please. Syntax number 3 I am going to. Syntax number 3 I am going to look at. I am going to give you syntax number 3. Okay, students. Look at the syntax number 3. See, students, I am going to give you except name, exception class name 1, exception class name 2. What I do today is exception class name 1 as alias name. Alias name. Have you heard about as in our class? Where you heard about it? Somewhere else we heard, but we are not remembering. Modules. Import module name as alias name. From import, from module name import function name as variable name as. Like that we are using alias names or not? Like that I am using as what? Alias name. Alias name. Sir, because of this alias name, this is also important, ma. Because of this syntax handles. This syntax handle, if you like it, I will print. See, my dear students, I am printing alias name. Alias name I am printing. Here also I am printing alias name. I am printing alias name. Yes. Alias, alias name I am printing. Here I am writing alias name I am printing. This syntax handles one exception at a time and stores technical error message. Technical error message. Understand? Technical error message generated due to what? Exception occurrence. I will show you that. Whenever I show the program, you will understand. Exception occurrence. Exception occurrence. Go. Quickly go. Testing you take. 10 by 0. What is coming? What is the exception name? What is the message? That message will be stored in where? Alias name. This is very useful to me. One more. Int of 100 ABC. Int of 100 ABC. What is the message is coming? What is value error? Exception name. What is the message? This is called what? Alias name is storing that message. Are you getting me? Division by 0. What is an exception name? What is the message? Division by value error. What is the message? Invalid literal. What is the literal? Literal means what? Value. Value. That value is valid value or invalid value. That's why invalid literal for int function with base 10. It is not a base 10 representation. You are using some other representation, not possibility saying. Are you following, students? Go back. Now I am saying, see, this syntax handles one exception at a time and stores the technical error message generated due to what? Exception occurrence. This syntax handles one exception at a time and in alias name, and it stores technical error messages in where? Alias name generated due to what? Exception occurrence. Let us go to the program, students. Let us go to the program, students. I will take this program. Let us carefully understand. I will take it. DAV 5.py. 5.py. Zero division error as what? K. Value error as what? V. As V. You take your own name, no problem. Here I am writing what? Here I am writing what? K. Here I am writing what? V. V. Don't write V in double quotes. Don't write K in double quotes. If you write K and V in double quotes, you will get K and V only. We have to write what? This is our object now. Object means it is going to store a division by 0 value. It will store invalid literal, that type of thing. Let us execute, student. Let us execute, students. Okay, students, come on to the program point. Yes, here. Please execute py div 5 100 and next 20. No problem at all. No problem at all. Say next py say 10 and then what? Which line is the problem here? This one. It jump out of where? This place it will come. And k takes what? Zero division error is coming. Due to that some message is coming or not? That message will be registered in where? That k will print. See the output of it. See the output of it. See the output of it. division by 0. Understand? That is the division by 0 I was shown you just now. Division by 0. Understand? Okay, sir. Go, sir, once again. You say 10 and you say KVR 1, 2, 3. Which exception? Here, in this program, you go. In this place, some exception is occurring. Come out of where? This place. And we going to store what? Invalid literal KVR into function. That entire story will be printed. Let us watch this student. Press enter key. Press enter key. Now see students, what is happening? Invalid literal for int function with base 10. This is something like what? This invalid literal for int with base 10, 100 ABC. Understand? Very easy. Very easy. Because of this code, what is coming? I am just printing. Okay, earlier it was printed this one, ma. For your better understanding in the program, I would like to paste it. If at all it comes, it will print. If at all it is going to come, this will come. This value will come. If at all you enter the value like that. So I'm writing like this. Understand? This is one useful thing. Go. Next, how many syntaxes? 5. So many I will tell you. First one is handling single exception. That is recommended. Second, multiple exception. Next, third with alias name. Next with what? Default. That is fifth one. Okay. Right. Now, last one I am writing. Last but one I am writing. Here, I will take the same thing, students. I will take the same thing, student. Here you write it. Here you do it. Here I am writing like this. Now I am coming to this place. Here I am writing like this. You see, students, what I am writing. Here, in our Python is a purely an object-oriented programming, but it works like what? Functional programming as well as object-oriented programming. Because from the beginning onwards, I am telling in the class, everything in Python treated as what? Objects. Everything in Python treated as what? Yes. So here I am trying to say, of course, whether you will catch me this point or not. A general example I will tell you first. Without, if you don't catch it, it will bounce. So before going to write the syntax, I would like to confirm from the online students. Students who are in the online, up to here, did you understand? Up to here, did you understand? Because I'm continuously going on speaking. Is the syntaxes are clear? Very good. Okay. What is it? Ganesh Verma. I told you, Nama, Ganesh Verma. In which category syntax error will come? Right? He is testing my patience. Syntax error will come under compile time errors. Already this I said yesterday, today also. As long as he asks, I will go on saying the same thing. Because I have a lot of patience. God given gift. Even if I ask the same thing 100 times, I will say the same answer 100 times. So one day definitely that will spark once. Okay, fine. Come on to the point. Syntax number, paint, I want to go for it. Fine. Okay, na? Okay, good. So, let us coming to that. Try. Who is there in my class? In my class, different students are there. Who is having different type of knowledge. So, some, of course, don't feel anybody. Assume in my class or some teacher class, there is a sleeping students are there. There is some irregular students are there. There are latecomers are there. And not doing homework students are there. Like that, there are different mindset people are there. Listening, all of a sudden quickly sleeping students are there. Different students are there. What they are all called for me? Exceptions are not. What I will do? Except, what is this? What is this? Sleep error. Next is called what? Late coming errors. Irregular errors, like that I will write so many. So who need to take care about all these things? Teacher has to take care, right or not? So it is going to be taken as KVR error. KVR error. Who is a KVR error here? Is a super class for all these classes. In Python, one beautiful point I want to write it. In Python, there is one chart I am going to draw. One chart I am going to draw. What is my chart, my dear students? You know, my dear students, there is a class called exception. There is a class called exception. There is a class called what? Exception. Or there is one more kind of class recently available, that is called what, you know, base exception. Base exception. EXCEPTI1 exception. Okay, it is becoming very slow. It's too slow. This is very low, ma. Yeah. Let me take up. I will take up little bigger one. So this is my class. Which class it is? Which class it is? One class is that is called base exception or exception. What is this class is called? Super class for all the exceptions. And it is too early to discuss this. Actually, this is a point of what? Inheritance. Suppose I am there. Who am I? Super class for all my students or not? Any sort of errors are coming to my students. Students are nothing but about my subclasses. My subclasses. So, my subclasses. So, who are my subclasses? Here you see. Here you see. This is KVR. I say here, I am taking inside of me, who is there? Who is there? All my subclasses are there. Who are the students with me? Ganesh Verma. So next is called what? Something like, you know, Rocky. Next is called what? Saumya. I'm writing here. Next is called what, you know? Of course. Different students. I see their names. Atish. Okay. Next is called Samir is there. Rocky, you change your symbol. That is very wrong. change your symbol. Brahmani is there. Some students are there. Some students are there. So like that, some students are there. So there are different type of students are there. Rohit Jain is there. Rohit Jain. Like that, there are different students are there. So many number of students are there. All of you are called what? Subclasses of mine. So what I do is, sometimes I will write try. I will write it. Try. What I do is, I'm not writing. Actually, it's a difficult to understand at this level, but I will make you to understand somehow, because I need this diagram to understand in the class. I will write what here, except KVR. I will write it. What is KVR? Is a super for all the types. Every person is a part of me or not? Any exception occurs here, any sort of exception occurring here, it is a part of KVR only. Suppose if Ganesh Verma exception is coming, immediately I will handle it. Immediately I will take it. If Rocky got any error, I will handle it. If Samir got anything, I will get it. If Rohit got any error, I will get it. If Brahmani got any error, I will handle it. What is KVR here? Super class for all the classes in our classroom. So these are all called subclasses. In the inheritance, I will explain, my dear students. All these things are what? Subclasses. Also called as a derived classes. Also called as, what you know, child classes. You will remember only child class. Please don't remember this. Okay. Say remember what? Next is called what? What is this is called? Very good. Go back. No problem. Take some time. No problem. No issues at all. I will write it. Tell me, students. One by one, you tell me. What are the exceptions you heard just now? Zero division error. Zero division error is a child of what? So if you forget to write zero division error, you can also write what? It's a parent name you can write or not. Who is the parent of zero division error? Yes. Next I can write it one more. What is that? Index error. Okay. Value error. Value error. All you write it. All you tell me. Value error. Next I will write it what? Type error. Come on. Quickly. Key error. Key error. Next is called what? Module not found error. Not found error. Module not found error. Next what? Next what? Syntax error. Syntax error is not a syntax error of exception. It is one of the compile time kind of error. That's what Ganesh Verma is asking continuously. Okay. Next is called what? Next is called what? File not found error. File not found error. In the files I will tell you. File not found error. Next is called what? Attribute error. Attribute error. Like that I am going on writing. So many things will be there. Etc. I am going to write it. So this is comes under what? It is comes under what? Tell me. Super class. Or also called as which class? Base class. Also called as which class? Parent class. That I am not writing. That I am not writing. Don't try to remember that type of small words. And what are these called? Subclasses. Sub or what? Subclasses or what, ma? Yes. Derived classes. Derived classes. I will explain what is the inheritance meaning. All those things I will explain. Derived classes. Are you following? So if any exception is coming, first, who is the most suitable person to handle everything? Parent is the most suitable to handle everything. Now, what I am trying to write today is, I will write it. I will write it. I will write it. What I will write it? Exception. Exception. What I will write in this exception? Actually, this is only written, but actually most useful syntax is what? Syntax 1, syntax 2, syntax 3. Here also, with this exception, you cannot able to write what? You cannot able to write what? Particular specific message you cannot write. Why? Exception is a super class for how many? Many of the exceptions are not. You can just write only something like this. I can write, oops, something went wrong. So rather than leaving empty, you can write something like this. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. So I hope you are following me. What is this exception? Why I am saying this kind of thing? Because in written test, if these patterns are coming, you should not feel that it is not covered in the class. Are you able to understand? So this one is doing what? This is called what? One in all, like one for all the exceptions. This is syntax. This is syntax. Handles all types of exceptions. All types of exceptions. But unable to generate. What? Unable to generate. What? Unable to generate user-friendly error messages. Unable to give user-friendly error messages. Look at, I will go to my place. I'll go to my place, syntax number 4. 4 or 3 now? Syntax number 4. Go to the program once. See students. I'll go to this place. 3 is there now. I will go to this place. 4. You take this part of it. I will take this. Why I am saying all these things is because in some sort of the place you may come across this written test point of view. So here are what I am writing, ma. Exception. Exception. See that it is something went wrong. Let us start. Div6.py. Div6.py. Out of that, go to the students. Here I say py 6.py 100 and then 20. No problem. Here 100 and 0. I got. Oops, something went wrong. 0 division error is handled by exception or not? Next, please say 10 ABC. So oops, something went wrong. Are you understanding? You can happily go for what? Like this. As E, you can write. Comma E, you can write. What is that E? Yes, registered message. Say something went wrong. You see, something went wrong. What is that? Okay. Say something like this. HYD. What is this? Oops, something went wrong. Invalid literal for into with base Hyderabad. Beautiful. I am taking what? Base and then exception E. See how many ways? Are you following? Good. Now you see DIV1, DIV2. This is the best order. This is also best order. Also best order. This is not recommended. This is not recommended. This is also recommended. This is also recommended. If you are interested, you can go. Specific exception name as alias name. Specific exception name as alias name. What about this general exception name with alias name? I can register what is the message. Following? How many forms of exceptions are there? Yes. So today's class, we understand various forms of syntax 1, syntax 2, 3, 4, and then what? So how many forms of except blocks? So out of that, first two are most best things. Students in the online, today's class is understandable regarding the concept of keywords explanation, regarding the various forms of which blocks? Except blocks. And when I come back to tomorrow class, I will explain what programmer defined exception, raise keyword I will explain. And after that, after doing some example, I will go for how to develop ATM case study. That is our own exceptions need to develop or not. Then we will go further. Day by day when class is going on in exceptions, we have to improve our confidence in the programming part. So practice this part, what are the various forms, and learn the concept of what, try, except, else. Finally, these things you must understand. Okay, students, shall we stop the class? Right. So, fine. What is this, ma? Yes, ma. Rohit Jain. Definitely, ma. Password. I will tell you that. I will tell you in the. I'm having in my mind. There is a module name called what? Get a pass. Now itself, within 2 minutes, I will show you. Others say that import, get pass, PASS1 or PWD. PW is equal to get pass of prompt is equal to enter your password. If PW is equal to KVR, I am giving my password. I am asking to give the password is this. Welcome to Python. Right? Else print what? KVR. Then come on to next is what? So next what? Join Python class. Join what class? Python class. So recommended to learn Python class. Recommended to join Python class. Start. What is this now? PWD example.py. Okay. Out. See. PY. Enter your password. From my keyboard, I am typing KVR. Nothing is typing there. Don't look at me. I typed KVR because online students cannot see this facility. I typed KVR, but nothing is there because in some of the password modules, even if I type it, it is not moving. Yes, students. Now I typed what? It is going to give welcome to. Right. Enter a password. I am typing Python. Not moving the cursor. High security password. Recommended to join Python class. What a beautiful coding this is. Rohit Jain. I got you, ma. I came to your place. Understand? Understand? Yes, ma, Rakesh. Definitely I will try. Definitely I will come. Rakesh, I will come to you. I will come to that. Rohit, yes. So I reached you. I got it. What is this now? Get pass is a module. Get pass is a function. Prompt is a message. I will use in my ATM case study. Understand? Yes. So somebody, Rakesh, you are asking me time, PY. Come to that. Import, date, time. What is date time? Say immediately. Module. Okay. Time. T is equal to date time. Dot. Date time. Dot. Now. What is date time? Module. What is the date time? Is a attribute. Now is I will explain. What is a T? Print of what? T. 2022, 3rd March, 9th, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock now, 19 minutes, 19 seconds, microseconds. Sir, print T dot day, T dot year, T dot year. How beautiful this Python program is. 2022, T dot what? Month, T dot day, T dot minute, T dot minute. Minute spelling. Are you MINUTE? Okay, minute. No minutes. Direct, no minutes. T dot what? Come on, guys. Seconds. Second. Okay, 19 seconds. T dot microseconds. A dot A is equal to 2 plus 3j. A dot real, A dot IMAG, like that. Rakesh, thank you. So you asked that doubt. Immediately I just gave the answer. So I need a time to explain everything. Students in the online, are you okay? So good. So sir, could you please, okay, book name you want. Okay, book name I want to tell you. What is the book name? Time is over, ma. Can I tell tomorrow? Okay. Students, I will tell you tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow I will tell you the Oracle book name. Don't worry now. All the best. Read well. Okay. Thank you. Good day. All the best.